I want to bless that guy, that son of a
that son of a poor son, that poor son, that
son of a bitch.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators. As I move my microphone and I move my mouse, I realize that the Who Are These Podcasts guy was absolutely right. My mouse is right next to my microphone. I basically do have my mic right directly on my mouse, so recording the loud sounds of my mouse clicking. Honestly,
Huh.
it's not even exaggeration. That guy really had me pegged.
I guess I don't hear it because Discord has a
Yeah,
default noise
the
gate
noise
for little things
canceller.
like that.
Yeah. But no, it's like inches away from my microphone, so I'm sure it is audible. Oh well. What's up? It's been once again. A week has passed.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Well,
Nothing
for
even
me,
happened.
nothing. Well, I had a thing that happened, but it's
Okay.
not the sort of story. It's a story of an adventure, but it's hard to tell without it being just me reciting a list of things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Canterbury, and it was nice. It was a nice
Canterbury.
day out.
What's there to do in Canterbury?
There nothing much. It was just, I mean, it's an old sort of medievally English town. There's bricks. There's old walls from castles, occasionally just strewn around.
Mm.
And it's yeah, it's nice. We found a cool museum there, and it had Bagpuss in it. It had Bagpuss the cat.
Oh right, Bagpuss, right.
and
right.
and the Clangers, and Noggin the Nog, and Ivor the Engine, and Rupert Bear.
These can't be real.
You're
making at
real.
least some of these up.
No, I actually remembered them all. Except there was one or two I hadn't ever seen before, and then there was Basil Brush, the fox. I didn't know Basil Brush was...
Who could forget Basil Brush?
Who could forget ha 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 boom boom, the classic catchphrase of Basil Brush?
Is that true? I don't know.
He goes ha 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 boom boom, it's so silly and obnoxious. But
I see.
I remember watching I don't know if it was late 90s or 2000s or whatever. They had a Basil Brush came back for a TV show, and that's where I knew about him.
Like a revival?
Yeah, because I had no idea that he was in the olden times, in the 60s, or when he was first invented as a little cartoon fox.
I asked you about
anybody
Bagpuss.
Remember Basil Brush?
Wait, so Basil Brush... So Bagpuss was like a show, and these were all characters in the show, right? That's what you're talking about?
Bagpuss, well, this was all in one room in the museum, which was this particular artist, puppeteer, craftsman, animator, stop-motion guy. Mm-hmm. And these are all shows that he worked on or created. So Bagpuss was one, Basil Brush was another. Noggin the Nog, which was, I think, a Viking, but it was two-dimensional, like South Park, but not
paper
like
cutouts?
South Park. Paper cutouts, but with hinges on their arms and legs, and they would walk. It's you know how the old Norman tapestries that would depict medieval people.
Yes.
They sort of have a weird
from the side view, because they didn't know how to draw a person in 3/4 view.
Yeah, so it was a show based on that sort of way of doing things. I was cool. They've got all the original puppets, the original little paper people. They got everything. And I was we had no idea any of that was there. We were just oh, that's a cool building. Let's go inside. Then we saw it.
That reminds me of... Do you know a YouTube channel called Atrocity Guide?
Nope.
Atrocity Guide is a pretty cool channel. They have a bunch of videos that are about weird, just kind of about weird things. There's one about I hope I remember the name. It's called The Throne of Fred Hampton. Have you okay, you've probably seen the Down the Rabbit Hole about the realm Henry Darger and Realms of the Unreal?
No, I have not watched Down the Rabbit Hole before. I see them, but I'm like, whatever.
That's my favorite Down the Rabbit Hole, Henry Darger and the Realms of the Unreal. It's about a guy who worked as a janitor his whole life, but his whole life he spent cutting out like magazine clippings and tracing over them to create this huge volume of illustrated stories about these, I think it's like seven sisters who are like princesses of this magical like other world. It's awesome. And yeah, I think it was Sporktown Heroine that turned me on to this channel. She recommended me a video called Huh?
No, nothing.
Oh, called the Throne of Fred Hampton, and it's a similar thing. This guy Fred Hampton, who I think might have also been maybe not a janitor, maybe like a garbage collector or something. But yeah, he had this little like warehouse space or like a storage unit. And in this storage unit, he spent years collecting trash, like aluminum foil and light bulbs. And he would take any piece of like glittery or like reflective or shiny trash that he found, and he would form it into a piece of this throne and all this royal like adornments to go along with like this. He built this throne room out of like aluminum foil and light bulbs in this storage unit, and I guess he thought he was like a prophet who was possessed by God. No, it's not that. He didn't think he was a prophet, but he did think he was tasked by God to build a throne like for like the return of Christ or something to like ascend
Nice.
to. It's so cool. And then this, hold on, wait,
a glittery room in a storage unit wouldn't surely. I mean, obviously that's probably just what they had, but like, you can't see the glitteriness if there's no light shining in.
Well, I mean, there was you turn a light bulb on. I think I remember he brought like a woman over, and he was like, "Hey, check this out," and like he went in and just turned the lights on, and like the lady was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this?" Yeah. Anyway, there's an atrocity guide. I think it just came out, and it was about this. I'd never heard of this before. It's a Russian cartoonist he's been working on a movie for like 15 years. Well, it's him and his wife. They're like a pair. So yeah, these two Russian animators have been making this movie. It's called like, is it like the cloak or like the coat, the overcoat, I think. But it's okay. You know that when you think of like old Russian cartoons, you think of like, yeah, like sort of South Parkish, like paper puppets, right? That like kind of move on hinges.
Yeah,
they sort of look like the Monty Python cartoons. Well, it's like that, but it's like the most complicated form of that you can imagine. It's like that, but with like every individual like finger of like the hand is like hinged, and like it's not like flat colors. It's all like painterly, and like they do like 20 different images of the same like face or whatever at different angles, and so as the guy turns his head, like they're moving it slightly between frames, but they're also replacing it with to make it like a smooth. It's so weird looking. It's bizarre. Honestly, this guy has been making this movie. These people have been making this movie for like 15 years. It's probably never going to be finished. This is just going to be the rest of their life, finishing this movie and never actually doing it. And I gotta say, it's an admirable work, but it looks scary. It looks scary and creepy, and it unsettling and uncanny, and I don't like it. I just don't like it.
What's it called?
I believe the movie is called The Overcoat. Let me look up Atrocity Guide and make sure. Atrocity Guide. The newest video is called... Okay, it's called The Animators Who've Spent 40 Years on a Single Film. Maybe in the description it has... Yeah, it's called The Overcoat. Like, there's clips that have been shown of it. I mean, the movie, it's not done yet. They've made other animation work like to fund the project. Uh, I guess I guess they like the Russian style of like paper puppet animation, and they're basically doing like taking that to its logical conclusion, doing like the most advanced form of that a person can do, and I guess that's fair enough. But I truly feel that the resulting product is horrifying.
I want to see it. I can't, but it's hard to Google.
Let me. Oh Jesus! I just clicked to like a random point in the. Okay. Okay. Here, I found a clip of the movie. Find you the exact. I'll find you the exact timestamp. Here, okay, share. Start at 25:09. Here's just like a little clip of
Oh yeah, there's something uncanny about the fluidness of that hand movement.
I think it's part. I don't know if it's entirely the animation style. I mean, I think the illustration style, like the way that he's drawn, is part of what is making it creepy, and I think it's got to be somewhat intentional. Like they drew him like that on purpose. But like I just hate it. I hate seeing it.
40 years on a single film.
I said 15. I guess I meant 40. Yeah, they've been they made another. There's one about like a fox stealing a baby, and they made that movie like I guess it's based on a myth or something, and they made that like 40 years ago, and it was a big hit. And they were like, well, for our next one, we're going to adapt this piece of folk literature called The Overcoat, and that's what they've been doing for 40 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
The dedication alone is inspiring, but also I would never want to do that thing for 40 years.
Later on in the video, she says like it seems like the guy just sort of is like a weird misanthrope and kind of just doesn't care like what people think of his movie, and he's just doing it to do it at this point, and it doesn't seem like he's in any hurry to like finish it up and get it released.
I mean, why would
at this point it's his life, I guess.
Why would you stop? Like if somebody says, "Huh, this is taking a while and it doesn't even look good. It looks creepy," and it's like, "Oh, I guess I should can it then." 40 years in,
it must be supposed to look like this.
Of course.
But like
movies don't have to look beautiful. They can look fucked up.
I just don't know why you would make it look like this on purpose. I don't know who would want to see this.
I don't know, freaks.
I don't know, man. I gotta not. Jeez.
Art enjoyers.
The average Russian paper doll style of animation enjoyer.
And the soy jack, I don't know, anime connoisseur, anime freak, something, haha, good, bad.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I was talking about the museum in Canterbury.
Right. Yeah, I asked you about that on the Shekels for Heckles because I was not familiar with any of these characters.
Yeah, and the reason I don't really feel like it's worth like a story worth telling is because there wasn't really anything particularly exciting that happened. It was just like a nice day, and like we went to the seaside. We saw the sunset over the sea as it receded into the ocean, and it was really nice. But it's like I can't really describe it in a way that anyone could really get anything out of it.
Yesterday, I saw the moon right as it was. I know it was, but it was really low, over the horizon. It was really low, and it was so like yellow. It was like orange. It was the orangest moon I've ever seen.
Blood moon.
It looked very spooky. I missed the lunar eclipse. There was a lunar eclipse like this weekend, I think, but it was cloudy. I couldn't see it. Bummer. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Guess I'm fucked.
Another thing.
Uh-huh.
This is the only sort of interesting thing, but it's like I'm mostly interested in how many people in our audience who are British remember this one thing. So in me and my brothers, we have this in-joke that started from Michael Owen, who is a footballer who plays football. And
who is this guy? Owen?
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. Oh, okay.
And the reason he's a meme, like an in-joke, is because we had a cereal box where it was like Michael Owen themed Shreddies or something. It was a Shreddies box, and Michael Owen was on the front. He was hot shit. He was like David Beckham, but like at the same time, there's like Michael Owen and David Beckham, but David Beckham was more famous for longer lasting, and Michael Owen, nobody remembers him.
Yeah.
But Michael Owen was on there. He's like, oh, cool, the sports guy. And I don't know why we had this cereal. And on the back, there was this how Michael Owen eats Shreddies. Like, how to eat Shreddies with Michael Owen.
Are Shreddies like Wheaties?
Yeah, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was 4 panels, I remember. And it's like, step
Wait a
one.
minute, I have to I googled Shreddies, and I do see the cereal box, but there is also apparently a line of underwear and other fabric goods that are designed to filter your farts and make them smell better. That is also called Shreddies.
Well, that's very unfortunate.
The original,
don't like that I know that now.
The original Shreddies, they claim.
Well, the underwear?
That's what their website says.
Well,
okay. I just wanted you to know.
Now I can't help but picture farting through a piece of cereal.
I kind of don't believe them. I think they're lying. I think that probably the cereal came first. But
whatever.
What do I know?
I mean, it's like a lattice grid, and
I'm looking at it.
Anyway, there was like celebrities being on cereal wasn't that strange, but the thing that was funny was the how to eat Shreddies. Or shredded wheat, or whatever it was.
I've always wondered, Michael Owen, how do I eat Shreddies exactly?
And it was like panel 1, like put spoon into bowl. Panel 2, lift spoon. Panel 3, exercise taste buds. And then panel 4, repeat. And I found it so funny because at no point does he put the cereal in his mouth. If you follow those steps exactly, you lift the spoon up. You won't ever eat
the Shreddies.
You lift the spoon up out of the bowl. You put it in, lift it up. Just move your mouth around a bit, and then do it again. You'll die of starvation. And it was so like stupid. And me and my brothers laughed forever. We've laughed until 2021 about fucking Michael Owen. And now whenever we want to think of someone who's an idiot. Oh, a stupid character.
Think of someone who's an idiot.
Whenever we have like a stupid character for something that like, oh, what if I don't know, what if you had a grape that could tell the time? You know, Michael Owen brand grape. We would just put Michael Owen there. It's very stupid and it's very in-jokey. But I'm really curious as to if anybody remembers Michael Owen's "How to Eat Shreddies" from the back of that cereal box.
I don't.
Comment below.
Please comment below if you remember Michael Owen's "How to Eat Your." I mean, do you think you could Google it?
I googled it. All right, here's one of the images. This is what he looks like. So open your mouth, or like whatever. The back, I think this is like an edited photograph. They put the word "back" in there because that's the back button of their website. About
Okay. Are you sure it was Shreddies? Because I'm seeing it on a box of Sporties. Another cereal that sounds ridiculous to me.
I think that was like a version of the thing. Nestle is the same company.
Nestle shredded wheats.
Or maybe it was shredded wheat.
It's not quite the same product. This looks more like this is shredded wheat. Shreddies look more like they look more like Chex. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess shredded wheat was like the original one, but then to make it cool for the kids, they made Shreddies. And that was the one I know more of. It's got more sugar on it. But yeah, Michael Owen, I found this one image. I can't find the rest. Like, Shreddies, how to... Like, it's so stupid. And nobody would keep track of it. Except for this one website that seems to have, like, images of the old Michael Owen
When I Google this, all the results are him not on a Shreddies box, but on a Sporties box. Are you sure you're not misremembering what cereal it was?
Well, the shredded wheat, it was like a limited time like version. It's like, oh, Lucky Charms, but with only nothing in it. Like, and you call it Shitty Charms, you know, like, it's the different name for the same cereal, but, like, branded with a celebrity.
I'm looking at it. I can tell that shredded wheat is not the same thing as Shreddies.
Okay, we had shredded wheat. I mean, it's very similar. Yes, I made a mistake, whatever. But that's what it was.
Okay.
Michael Owen on shredded something.
Wait. Wait, I found a... Damn it. I don't think this is it. But I found some box images. Maybe this is just a different box, actually. Here's some important imagery for all of us to remember on Christmas Day. Here's another one. But here, I'm about to show my favorite one, which is oh, there's more. There's more.
You found more?
Well, there's these 3 boxes, and then there's 3 like front cover boxes. But what I like most about this last one here is in the bottom right corner, or sorry, the bottom left. What is this, like, Power Zone? It's like new Shreddies with Power Zone.
Yeah, if you want to be good at sports, you need the Power Zone shredded wheat.
And it's like, what, does this have, like, cheese inside of it? Like, what is that?
No, it was just like, I don't know, a layer of sugar.
It looks like cheese.
It looks like maybe like honey, something or other.
I don't know, but it's got these Sporties have the Power Zone.
Oh my god, I found it. Oh my god, I found it. All right.
Really? Where?
Open image and I just need to... It's on Reddit. I'll just copy paste. All right.
Oh my god.
Michael Owen's morning workout. Anyway, yeah, here's how to eat the fucking cereal.
The winner's way to start your day.
You lift your arm, you stretch your mouth, and you don't eat it.
You don't actually put it in your mouth.
It's such a bizarre thing to include. Like, what is... He's so, like, boring looking.
Yeah. He seems totally uninterested. Oh my god. This is like in a magazine or something? Man.
Yeah, in the Beano. That's probably what it was.
The Beano?
Yeah, the Beano is a comic book.
Oh.
Like a weekly comic book with cartoon people.
It looks like a WikiHow. You know those WikiHow illustrations?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. How to eat Sporties. I don't know.
Stupid. Fucking Michael Owen.
The diagram for exercise taste buds is like a circular motion. Like you're meant to like rotate the cereal through your over the tongue and then under the tongue and then back and forth in a circular kind of motion.
The last image is the same as the first one, but it's ever so slightly smaller.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, I love that I found this.
Well, now I know how. Now I know how to eat Sporties, Shreddies. It probably works for any cereal, honestly.
Yeah.
Just as long as you have the winner's spirit inside. Based. Well, now I know. Thanks, Michael Owen.
Thanks, Michael Owen.
Um, speaking of
Speaking of Michael Owen.
Speaking of athleticism. Speaking of being fit and powerful. So I've been continuing to lift and become extremely strong. And I hit my PB. I hit my personal best on the bench press this week, 160. Nothing too impressive, but it's pretty good for me. So that's pretty cool. Kazzy and Munchie are also PBing. Kazzy is hitting their PBs on, I think, the overhead press and maybe the bench press and maybe the squat too, I think. So they're powerful also, which is nice. But this week, every time I went over there, they were like, Ben, after we get done lifting, let's get drunk. Let's get drunk. And I'm like, no, you're terrible. You're terrible. You're a terrible influence. Friday, I said. We'll get drunk on Friday. And we said, okay, we'll get drunk on Friday. And then the Friday comes, and then they're sick. Everyone's sick. Munchie gets sick, and then Kazzy gets sick. And now I'm probably going to get sick, because I probably got whatever they got. So that's shit. Speaking of being sick, I think I said last week my dad got the coronavirus. Did I mention that last week, or was that
that may have been during the stream?
The stream. Oh yeah, my dad got tested positive for the coronavirus, which made me very worried. But he says he's got no symptoms, and he said, I haven't talked to him in a few days, but I haven't heard anything, so probably nothing. Hopefully nothing has happened there. He said he suspected it might be a false positive. So he said he was going to get tested again, and we'll see. And I mentioned this on the stream, but I'll say it again. I felt sad because it was his birthday this weekend, and I had planned to go visit him as like a surprise, like, hey, I'm here to hang out for your birthday, but then he got tested positive for the coronavirus, so we canceled that, so as not to spread the virus. So I didn't get to do that, which was kind of shit. And it would be kind of shitty if it turned out, it was just a false positive. I could have gone anyway, but I didn't. Whoops. But I mean, I guess Thanksgiving is like this week anyway, so whatever. I'll be there either way. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I hope it is a false positive, so I don't have to worry about catching it.
Yes,
that would be that would be optimal. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for my adventure, there was a lot of walking involved, and it's my first big Pikmin Bloom outing.
Oh, God.
And I got so many nectar. I got so many flowers bloomed.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
And guess how many steps that was for that entire day?
For one day walking around in museums and shit?
Walking around in museums and then also walking, like, to the ocean. There's quite a lot of walking, really.
Okay, let me think. At a rate of about 1 step a second, let's say a day out is maybe, if it's a long day, maybe 8 hours, right? So 60 steps a minute times 60 steps is 3,600 steps per hour, times 8 would be 25,800 steps. And let's say maybe you were walking for half of it. So I'm going to guess about 12,000 steps.
Well. It was actually 21,656 steps.
Wow. Damn.
That was a lot. My legs hurt quite a lot afterwards. Because we planned it badly. We didn't exactly know where we were going. It was really just sort of like, let's get the fuck out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did. and we
Makes
had to
sense
walk
to
a
me.
lot. We could have got more buses, but we thought, nah, this is an adventure. We can walk. We can walk through this forest. Oh, we can't.
So you were like, you were on like a family trip to Canterbury, and while you were there, you were like, let's get out, let's just go walk around somewhere.
No.
Oh.
It was just a day trip. We got on a coach to
Oh.
Canterbury at like 8 a.m.
Just you and your brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we explored the town. We walked through some farms and some woodland on our way north, where the coach was going to pick us up. That was the plan, generally, is we go to Canterbury, then we get the coach back in like 7 hours. But we thought, like, 7 hours, that's plenty of time to get to a place like, I don't know, one town over. It's not even that far, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But walking there, it took a while, and we had to take a bus near the end.
To get
and it
there.
hurt. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At least we saw the sea, though. That was really nice. Hey, you ever seen the sea? Oh, of course you have. You're in Boston. You see the sea all the time.
I'm in Boston. Yeah, I see. Well, I mean, I see the Charles River all the time, which is very close to the sea. I see the sea occasionally. I've seen the West Coast too. Once or twice. Yeah.
There's something just magical to me about like a huge flat, nothing in your line of vision, seeing the ocean just keeps going.
If you guys were walking around all day, does that mean that Henry's leg is better? Didn't he have like a broken leg for a while?
No. All right. Here's the silly thing.
Okay.
Henry has been getting better. He's on medication that is, for most of 2020, he was like, my leg's fucked, and I can't get a doctor because coronavirus. All the doctors are busy.
Right.
And so his leg got worse, and that was really fucked.
Yes.
Now coronavirus has eased up a bit. He's able to have, he's been able to have more like doctors looking at his leg. He's got things going on, so it's improving. And now he has to, it's at the point where he needs to walk a bit in order to build up strength. Because if he's laying still, it's not going to improve.
So he has to do like physical therapy for it, basically.
Yeah, a little bit of physical therapy. And we thought, okay, this would be like, maybe you could come with us on this fun walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of his idea. He wanted to get out of the house.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of walking. Luckily, we thought this was a stupid idea, but he brought like a light, like a aluminium, like metal chair, and he strapped it to a backpack, and he had that carrying around the whole time. And he had a walking
just sit
stick
if he needed to.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, but there's gonna be benches, there's gonna be like places where you can sit, but it was actually very useful because the bus stops they had like benches that were like anti-homeless benches. You can't lie down on them. You sort of slip off them if you try to relax in any way. Mm-hmm. It's basically just like you're supposed to lean up against it and while standing, basically. They're not really seats. And so when we were waiting for the bus, it's stupid. I hate it. It's like a metal, like a metal cuboid that's slightly tilted downwards.
What? I've never seen such a thing. I mean, I've seen anti-homeless benches, but I've never seen one that's just a slanted cube.
It's, well, like, you got the bus area, like shelter, right?
I think so you're saying that it's basically just sort of like a featureless metal, like, slab that just kind of sticks out of the ground and has, like, a sort of horizontal surface on top that you could maybe sit on, but it's angled?
It's
can
angled
kind of picture
downward
what you're
so
talking
that
about.
you could slip forward. Maybe if I
Does it have like handles or railings or a back?
It has a back. It's like bus stops that have like a back and then a roof to keep you out of the rain.
Yes.
It's like one of those with like glass on each side, and then the bench itself is just a metal cuboid that's slightly slanted downwards so that you slip off it. And so he would not have been able to sit on that for any extended period of time. So that chair actually did come in handy a few times. So, good idea.
I see. Fascinating. Honestly, really weird. Our bus stops, I mean, we have benches that are just, they're benches you can sit on.
Yeah.
Most of our bus stops just don't have a bench in them, though. Most of our bus stops around here are just, a little, like, glass and metal shelf you can stand under.
What would you call a bus stop thing? Like a kiosk? That's not really it.
Not maybe a kiosk, maybe a little
Oh, this is kind of coming up. With
not
the
a
right
pagoda.
thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Overhang? No. You're coming. Right, we mentioned this before, but you're planning to come visit in January, right?
Yes, I'll be coming over.
Very cool.
That'll be epic.
It will be a little bit epic.
Okay, I can't find a good image of this. God dang it.
Are you looking for the bench?
I'm looking for a type of bench that's similar enough so I can illustrate what it is. But these images are like tiny. I'll post one so you can get maybe zoom in.
What? It's just a little pole.
It's just a little pole, and it's sort of slightly angled. That one in particular, that red one, that's the London one. Those are okay. You can sort of sit on them.
Yeah.
But the ones that we were at in Canterbury and Whitstable, they sucked.
That's so silly.
Yeah. Most people just stand next to them. They don't even bother.
I could see leaning against it for sure. That seems like aggressively like we're giving you as little bench as we can get away with.
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh well.
They save billions so that they can just not spend it elsewhere.
You know, not to revert the topic, but I forgot to mention something else about lifting. Yesterday, we were doing it, and we were in Kazzy and Munchie's basement, and their house boiler that like heats the water that like heats their house through radiators, just started belching steam. Like it just started blasting like big steam cloud out of a pipe, and it was billowing up into the ceiling, and it was it heated up the room, and it made it all like moist and sweaty, and
That's what steam would do.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. We had to move the bar over to another section of the place, a little further away from all the steam, and it was very upsetting. It was very uncomfortable. It made me very mad. But we thought we were being poisoned by gas for a minute. But I went over and I took a big lung to test the poison gas theory. I went over and I took a big lungful of it. And I didn't, and I survived. So I was like, no, it's steam. It's fine.
I mean, would there even be a gas pipe?
Yeah, it's a standard feature of most boilers in American houses that there's a big pipe that comes off it that periodically just emits huge amounts of poisonous gas.
No, I know the
emitting
basement part is not part of it, but like, does the house use gas for the stove or?
Well, it's I believe it's an oil burning boiler, right? Like it burns oil to heat the water in the boiler that then circulates through the radiator system.
So it could have been oil.
Did I mention that I had a leaky roof? Did I tell you about this? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I forgot to mention it. Yeah, okay. Oh shit, my headphones just got unplugged. A couple, like 2 weeks ago, my ceiling in my shitty apartment, it's made of those, in like an office building, the ceiling might be made of sort of like corrugated rectangular tiles that just kind of fit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A little bit.
So yeah, my roof is made of these corrugated kind of like cardboardy, tiles.
Cardboard?
I don't know if they're not actually cardboard. They're stiffer than that, but they're these cheap tiles. And one of them over my radiator has kind of a brown stain on it. Well, and it's sort of bowed out. Well, from that brown stain bowed out area, one day I just started hearing a tip, 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 and I look over and yep, there's just water is just dripping out of the tile in my ceiling. So I'm like, oh god. Oh my god. And I put my trash can under it to collect the water. And I'm like, what do I do? At first I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just hope that it will go away. So for one day I waited and it was just like, maybe it just won't happen again. I actually think, and this is not something I'm sure of, but I think one time I went out, I think I was drunk. I was kind of drunk. I came home. I woke up and my face was kind of wet and I was like, and my pillow was kind of wet and I was like, did I spill something on my pillow? And in hindsight, I think that maybe the ceiling was dripping on my face and I just didn't notice. Because it was pretty close to where my bed was at the time. Fortunately, it turns out the water was not like sewage or anything. It did not smell bad or anything. It smelled like nothing. So a day went by and it kept dripping and I'm like, oh god, fuck, I have to call my shitty fucking landlord, my psycho landlord, who's a fucking slumlord scam artist, piece of shit. So I call her. She's like, okay, I'll call the property manager. That guy couldn't come that night, but he came the next day. He showed up and he took a look and he figured out it was like the radiator system was like emitting steam and the steam was condensing into this water. And so he just had to drain the pipe and then he like tightened up some shit or whatever. And now it works. It doesn't leak anymore. So that's pretty cool. Had to rearrange my room to keep my bed dry for that one night. So, it was pretty bad, pretty disgusting, but not as bad as it could have been. A happy ending, I guess. That's what happened. Anyway, what was that? Steam, leaky roofs, shitty apartments. I don't remember what the point of that story was.
You said something about lifting and then gas.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Poison gas. I got paranoid. I get paranoid about carbon monoxide poisoning while I'm asleep. So I bought a carbon monoxide. Yeah, I bought a carbon monoxide detector. I actually had a carbon monoxide detector, but it was kind of broken, and I think a battery that had been in it had leaked or something. So I wasn't confident that it still worked. So I replaced it, and now I'm good. It is reading 0 right now. It has been reading 0 the entire time since I installed it. So, your boy is safe from suffocation. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay.
Hooray.
Hooray.
I also... There's a boiler in my room. It's behind a cabinet.
But there's a boiler in my kitchen.
And it, I also am scared of carbon monoxide, and I've been a little short of breath, not all the time, but only during the night when I have my door closed and the window closed, and I think there's just not a lot of ventilation. I feel like if it's not carbon monoxide, and it doesn't seem to be, it's carbon dioxide that I'm breathing out into a room that isn't getting any fresh oxygen. I feel like if I don't open a window a little bit, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna suffocate.
I have the same fear sometimes. It's probably unfounded. It probably won't happen, but I get it.
It's like the slight lightheadedness that I can't exactly determine whether it's sleepiness or lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
And lack of oxygen is the scariest thing. Because, on a lack of oxygen, you just sort of slow down and stop. And once you've stopped, would you ever be able to get out if somebody doesn't open the door? If I'm unconscious, I'm completely vulnerable.
Yes. Yes, true.
And so I
Yes,
have to,
true.
even though it's like winter, I have to keep a window open just a little bit, which means it's really cold
just to get air
outside of the duvet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it just doesn't feel right.
yeah. Uh, I still have my air conditioner in the window, even though it's definitely too cold for that now. Also, kind of for the same reason. Like I don't want to be like I'm sealed in here. It sort of gives a little bit of airflow, but it's limited airflow because it's not just like a hole. I don't even know if it does allow air through. Actually, it might just be a mental thing. I feel like it provides ventilation, whether it does or not. I got new curtains. I had I had no curtains, and I'm on the ground floor, and I have two big windows, so I had no privacy. So I just like tacked up a bed sheet over like most of my windows, and I put like some pieces of like cardboard, literal cardboard, up. I like stood them up on top of the hung bed sheet, just resting on top of it to cover up the rest of the windows. I bought some actual curtains, but the curtains that I bought, they got here and they were, because I didn't want blackout curtains, because I want the natural light to wake me up, to maintain like a certain amount of like, regular sleeping schedule. So I got these thin curtains, but they were so thin that they were completely see-through, completely transparent. They didn't obscure anything. So I'm like, okay. So I bought another sheer curtain. I was like, if I just put two on top of each other, that will obscure things. No, wasn't enough. Even with both on top of each other, still transparent. So I'm like, okay. I will buy a thicker curtain. And I did. So now I have all three of them stacked on top of each other. And I think that maybe all three stacked on top of each other, I think it's not quite enough to... I think it's mostly enough to obscure me from the outside, but also it blocks more of the light than I wanted to block, because like I want that natural light, and now I'm... the bed sheet let all the light in and completely obscured the view. So the bed sheet was literally the perfect solution. Why can't a curtain just be made of the same shit as my bed sheet? It did everything I wanted it to do.
I don't know.
Problems upon problems for me.
Wait, how... in your apartment, I forget, are you in the one up
No,
stairs
I'm on the first floor.
Oh, yeah, the low down, where the people could just walk right by your window. Yeah, okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
See, if I was up on a second floor, I usually wouldn't really worry too much about people looking up.
Oh, no, like, people can
looking...
just... I mean, cars pull into my driveway right... Like, if it's at the level where if a person pulled into my driveway and parked in front of my house, their eye level would be exactly at the level of my windows. They would be looking directly into my room. So, I have to have something.
What a weird window.
A bit. It's just a weird location relative to the outside. Well, it's fine. Yeah, the room came with, it had like metal bars. It had these bars over the window, supposedly as some kind of like an anti-break-in measure. But I was like, well, I need an air conditioner. It's hot. It's still summer when I moved in. I need the air conditioner. So I had to get the guy to just take the bars off. So, now I'm vulnerable. Now anyone can just climb in my window. It doesn't even matter. I'm sure those tiny thin little metal bars would have stopped someone before. Yeah.
They would go up to the window, see that Ben Saint lives there, and say, no.
Nothing. There's nothing.
No reason.
Here. Yeah, I hope so.
Unless they want Road to Radcon, then they'd smash that in.
They would steal my like 50 leftover copies of Road to Radcon. Oh, I could sell those for $15 a copy. Oh, damn, yeah. Please buy my extra copies of Road to Radcon. Please DM me on Discord or Twitter, or just PayPal me. Arigato. Okay. Right. So on the subject of selling stuff, I'm still not ready to publicly announce what my little side project aside from Phantom's Revenge is, but without getting into too specifics, I will say that it's coming along. It's getting ready to be public, but I had one of the, I can't say what it is, an item that I needed to do it. I got a new one, and then it broke immediately. It broke like instantly, and I am trying to negotiate for a refund on that. Progress is held up for a moment because I really don't want to buy a new one, and I really don't think I should have to buy a new one. And I really don't think anyone should have to pay for this except for the manufacturer who gave me a product that just broke instantly. But they are being annoying, and I just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. It's just the principle of the thing. So
do they just not have a refund policy?
I don't exactly know. It's not clear at the moment to me. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. But very annoying. Hold on, I have to extract some files. I have to extract some. This is part of the whole thing. These are the files. This is the work that my man Slobodan. I got a guy from Serbia named Slobodan to work on this for me. He's done great work.
So let's see. The clues are an item that breaks instantly sometimes. A Serbian man.
Slobodan.
You know a guy.
Not just any Serbian guy. Slobodan.
Slobodan.
I told Slobodan. I explained to Slobodan what I needed from him, and he responded. He responded with a smiley face and said, "Okie dokie." I love Slobodan.
Okie dokie. So
Okie dokie.
Slobodan and digital files, eh? Wonder what it could be.
There are, in fact, digital file. There is digital work afoot here.
We're living in the digital age.
Sad,
that
but
means
true.
it's not even interesting. It means it's normal. Ben saying, how could you dare do something normal?
Unfortunately, yes, it is. It's just normal. It's just some normal shit. Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Wow.
Lest I be tempted to spill the beans. I might, since it's going to be a thing that I'm going to have to sell because I'm like spending money to make it, I might not announce it until January. I might not announce it until after New Year's, strictly because like if I'm selling it for money, I want it to be in the new year for tax reasons. Because I think I'll be taxed more heavily on it if I sell shit this year than if I wait till next year. And it's only like a month away, so I might do that, and it might not even be ready until then anyway.
I've got to do my tax return for January. God damn folders.
I just finished my taxes. I just got my taxes like filed for 2020 because like I filed for all these extensions. But they finally ran out and I had to do it. I think I still owe I filed the returns. I think I still owe the federal government, but I paid my state taxes. It wasn't as I found some loopholes. I found some like what's the word? Some like tax breaks for like certain categories of things. Like I qualified for some breaks that I didn't think I was going to qualify for. So it wasn't as bad as I expected. Yes. Yeah. Based.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've just realized.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of Ghosts income. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the taxes on that because I haven't been able to buy all of that. Like a lot of the cost is postage, but if I don't have all the things ready to send by the end of the year, and I don't start posting them, I can't put that on my taxes as like money spent for business or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, you could buy stamps ahead of time.
Yeah, I could do all that. It's just I'm really stressing out. I'm stressing out about a lot of things, but it's mostly just the Lord of Ghosts Kickstarter, everything around that, and then the needing to do it before the end of the year. And now the taxes are like, oh yeah, that's also a thing. I should try to get it done by the end of the year. I'm still waiting on a few people to get the ghost stories finished.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Kazi is sick right now, so they can't draw.
Why can't you draw when you're sick?
Well, they, I don't know. They just said they'd try to get better first. I
thought they were, like, done.
They said, fucking 2 of the pages are basically done, and then there's 2 others that they're working on at the same time. And then just recently they got sick, so what then there's Kaiju-kun.
They've been sick for like 2 days. Whatever.
I don't want to be like angry at anyone.
I do.
It's like
Go on.
Well, it's not like I gave them a deadline. I said I would like it to be done, but take your time, because I've got a lot of other things to do. I got the plushes to be made, and that's really the thing I thought that was going to take the longest. But now I have all the plushes, and I need to do a little like test prints on like how to figure out the green on the Redman comic, but then I can print those. And then everything will be ready as long as I have the Lord of Ghosts themselves. And then I've got to do the signing, and I've got to do the doodles, and I've got to get a bunch of envelopes and packages and figure out to do the Kickstarter, like send out a request for addresses, and then all of the people have to be prompt with that. Yes. And it's like, oh my god, everything's going to go wrong. I just feel it.
True.
And I don't like that. That's upsetting.
Yeah, I was asking you about shipping, because this thing that I'm working on is something that I would have to ship. And I was looking into... Okay, so the Road to Radcon are books. That's paper. I can put those in an envelope and mail them as a letter. So it's that keeps the costs down significantly. The pins. I kind of cheated with mailing the pins. I put them in an envelope and I sent them as letters, and it probably shouldn't have counted, but I got away with sending most of them as letters in the mail instead of as packages. So that also kept the costs. I mean, it was higher because some of those were sort of heavy, but yeah, that kept the costs down. This thing that I want to sell soon I don't think I'm going to be able to send it as a letter. I think it's going to have to be sent as a package, which is not so bad for domestic shipping, but internationally is pretty bad. I was looking around, and I got really scared because I looked at I was picking okay, worst case scenario. What's the worst country that I would have to send something to find what's the upper limit of how much this shipping is going to cost? Australia. Okay, Google, how much is it going to cost me to ship a small, 4-ounce package to Australia? $116. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking kidding me?
That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
well,
I know it would be expensive, but $100, over
there was a
reason.
$100. The reason is that apparently, normal... First class is what you call just normal send a package for cheap. So normal first class shipping to Australia and New Zealand and maybe a couple other countries is just suspended right now because of COVID for some reason. So yeah, it's just that they don't offer normal shipping to Australia at the moment. So I would have to go with some other priority mail that is rush delivery, costs $100, right? So that's
God.
why. And it turned out that shipping to other countries was not as bad as I thought. It's kind of bad. It's probably gonna be like $15 to ship to basically any other country. A few countries might be a little more. Like Brazil was $19 for some reason, but like 15 up to maybe 20 seems to be. So I would probably just charge like $15 shipping, which is less than I thought. But it sucks. But like I think that's the best I can do. Yeah. So that's why I was asking you about the shipping stuff.
Yeah.
It turned out not to be. It turned out not to be as bad as I thought.
Lord of Ghosts is like 100 pages. It's not going to be an envelope. It's going to be at least a large envelope. I don't know.
Yeah.
A large envelope or like if it's got the plush, it's going to be a box, small box. And all of the ones that have the comic have the Redman comics. That makes it even thicker. So, everything's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Man, after this, never again. Never will I ever do shipping of any kind.
You know, after I did the first Vapors, I found myself being like, this was so hard. Like, this Kickstarter was really difficult, and it was not quick and easy. And I like for months I was still fulfilling orders, and I was like, this is so hard. This totally wasn't worth it. But like I've done more of that thing, and I think I don't really mind it. I think I don't mind the work of like, addressing envelopes, going to the post office, putting them in the mail. I think it's work and it takes a while, but I don't think I mind it that much. And it like this kind of thing, selling physical products makes money more easily than like, I don't know, than like donations online, right? It's just kind of I feel like it's a model that works pretty well, and so I think I have decided that I don't mind it, and I might continue to do this sort of thing into the future.
It's because it's the first time doing such a big thing, and I'm just stressed out. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I made sure. Well, I feel like I made sure to be like extra, like a, what do you call it? A margin of error, margin of too much money for shipping.
Yes.
When I came up with all the original things, but if the shipping in general is just more expensive now, I don't know that that's going to cover it. Fuck. Well, I gotta do it, but I might cry. I might cry about it.
The stakes are. Well, I'll do it either way. It's just a question of whether I cry doing it or not.
It's a question of how much like the volume of tears, how much it would displace in a cup.
And
how many cups?
Don't cry too much because tears are heavy, and so they'll add weight to the packages, and they'll make it cost more to ship. So
I'll ship them to myself. I won't need. I won't. Tears are extra.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff, I showed you the Edward D. Al's progress on the Radcon 4 Dojin.
Yes.
Which I'm sure, I say this all the time, I'm sure everyone believes that that's vaporware and will never materialize, but it will. Edward is maybe not quite halfway done drawing it? Thereabouts? Something like that. It looks really good. I'm looking at a sample page right now. It looks great.
Yes.
I'm going to be. I wasn't gonna do this, but I think I am gonna. I'm gonna print some copies, and I'm gonna offer print copies to anyone that wants to buy them in the same way that I'm offering Road to Radcon to people. Because
maybe it could be a bonus thing.
I'm gonna do it.
Get the Dojin, get a free Road to Radcon, or slightly more, like a discounted Road to Radcon or something.
I gave anyone who was a PCP patron $5 off of Road to Radcon. I think I will with the Dojin. I think I'll say like you get $5 off the Dojin if you either are a $5 patron or you bought Road to Radcon. So that, like, if you were to buy both and you were a patron, you would get, like, a total of $10. You would get $5 off one and $5 off the other. Right. I think it'll be the same because I don't want to do it that like, oh, if you're a patron, like if you're a patron and you bought Road to Radcon, you got $5 off the Road to Radcon, and now you get both stacked for $10 off the Dojin. So 50. I don't want to give that much. I don't want to give that much of a discount. I want to give $10 across both books. That seems fair to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks good. Edward. I want to say Edward's work looks really great, and I can't wait for the final product. But he did annoy me a little bit by kind of disappearing for a while. I was a bit worried that he was just gone, and I would not be hearing from him again. But I was wrong. He did eventually get back to me with the progress on the comic, so it's all good. Yeah. He seems to be working on it again. Funny shit. Yeah. It would have been pretty funny though if like he just disappeared. He was like, well, I started it, but goodbye. No, not what happens, Lamau.
Well, we're coming up to the ending of 2021, and the Radcon 4 stuff.
It's still coming out.
It's still not quite finished.
Nate told me. Nate has been incommunicado lately. He told me, as I told him Edward is getting the Dojin done, and he said that yes, he will work on getting the OVA and the music video done. And I have not heard anything from him about it since then. So I don't know if he's been doing it. I'm going to guess probably not. But I hope he will do it, because he said he would, and we need him to. Yeah. I guess maybe I'll ask him again and say, like, hey, so remember how I said the Dojin is coming out? Well, that's more true than ever. So can we get those videos, please? Just put a nice big bow on this whole Radcon 4 debacle. Put it all behind us. Have it all... Break the curse. This is the only way to break the curse of Radcon 4 is to deliver on all the Kickstarter promises.
Just get that shit sorted.
Yes.
We're so close.
We're pretty close. We're pretty fucking close. Should I post like a PDF version of Road to Radcon?
I suppose, but then would people not want to get the physical version?
Well,
maybe they would.
I mean, I think everyone who is going to get a physical version has probably already gotten one. Maybe a few people might see the PDF version and be like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I do want to own a physical version.
I suppose it's not like that strange of an idea. I think it could be worth it.
I think I had planned to maybe post a PDF version at the same time that I posted the Dojin. Whenever that happens. I don't know. And I guess I keep meaning to ask Tom, because I was going to post it on the website, and I don't know how to do that. And I have not asked. Oh well.
Yeah, in other news, I guess I'd been still working hard on the fucking secret project.
One more. Would people be mad? Would people who bought the physical book be like mad that I posted the the PDF version? Would they be like, oh, if I knew there was going to be a public PDF version, I wouldn't have bought this piece of junk? Throws it against the wall. Does anyone care about that? Is that a concern?
I don't know. I mean, people who bought it probably bought it because it's like an item, not because they wanted to read it.
Commenters, let me know. Not because, of course, they don't actually want to read it.
No, but like it's more interesting as like a thing that they can own. Be like, I have this.
Commenters, if you bought Road to Radcon, let me know in the comments whether you'll be annoyed if I post the PDF version on the website for people to read digitally. Also, please buy more copies. I have a box of 50 copies. I don't need 50 copies of Road to Radcon. Please, please take my extra stock. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Oh, you were going to talk about you started talking about your secret project.
Yeah. It's really not because I can't talk about what it is, but it's getting to the point where I'm a little worried that it may like go into December, still not be ready, and then
I'm sure
December
that my stuff is going into December.
December will be like, oh, suddenly you got to do things like family. I'm like, no, I don't want to do all that, but I should. I mean, you can't just ignore social gatherings entirely because then they'll have happened, and then you're like, I don't know how to speak to anyone anymore.
The holidays always feel like a big thing. It's like I'm always trying to work on something, and then it's always like I have to like take like 2 or 3 days away from that to go do some bullshit, go see my fucking aunts and uncles. I hate my aunts and uncles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate mine, but they're not like friends of mine.
I don't hate them, but I don't want to like stop doing my shit to go and like catch up with them. Oh, how you doing? Oh, who got married this year? Oh, that guy? Okay, cool. Oh, who had a kid? Oh, that guy? Oh, cool. Wow, that's great. I love that. All right. Oh, I love the Gwumpkies you made. These Gwumpkies are just to die for. Yeah, incredible. Old family recipe. Okay, bye.
You just get that clip and then play that on like
me?
on your phone. Yeah.
Instead
of speaking to them.
Yeah. That's all.
But like ultimately, I enjoy the break because Christmas time alone, even if you get a lot of work done, it feels hollow afterwards. You're like, dang, the holidays are over and I didn't speak to anyone. It sucks, kind of. I like to indulge in things I don't actually like, and like Stockholm syndrome. Like I'm stuck with this family.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Drinking a bit and talking about nothing in particular, and just saying hi. That's not so bad.
Nah, you're right. It's never as annoying as I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, I always think it's gonna suck shit, and then it usually only sucks a little bit.
Yeah, especially when I was younger, I would always hate the idea of it, and then I'm there and I'm like, there's chocolate, there's like peanuts, there's a dog. It's people saying hi, and I don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah,
it's like this is fine. Family is actually good.
If I'm at like a thing like that and I don't want to be there, it feels like an eternity. It feels like I'm like, God, there's so many other things I could be doing. There's so many things I could be doing with this time. But then if I step back and think about it, I'm like, okay, that was maybe like 6 hours, maybe 12 hours if I had to spend the whole day. I waste 12 hours all the time, right? 12 hours comes and goes without me even noticing all the time. It's stupid to get bent out of shape about one day, right? I waste most days of my life, frankly.
It's like I've never been to a social gathering with friends or family that has lasted longer than the longest streams I've done.
Yeah, true. That's right. Yeah, I'll stream for like 7 hours sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's just sort of like a holdover for when you go to those things and you're young. Time obviously feels like it takes longer. Yeah. So like staying at a place for 2 hours is like agonizing. But 2 hours, even if you're bored, is not that bad as an adult. And also, we've got phones now, so we have an excuse to just distract ourselves with some bullshit.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours is nothing. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it is. It's just I remember being bored as a kid and feeling like it was interminable. But now, just goes by in a flash. No problem.
Merry Christmas, Ben.
Merry Christmas. Yes, excellent. Oh, did my files extract? I think they did. I think my file's
Extracting
extracted.
oil?
Let me check. Yeah, essential oils. Let me check on my... Oh, did it? There it is. Ooh, that's a good file. It's just the right size, too.
That's a great file right there. It takes a extraction like no problem.
Wait. Let me compare it to... Let me compare it to my other file. 6768. Okay. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
It's the sound of an accountant.
Well, that's me. I have become. I'm all about. I'm all about adding up the numbers.
True.
Churn. That's the churning lifestyle. Is you gotta count all your pennies, stack them up. I'm stacking pennies. Some people stack bennies. I'm over here stacking pennies. But
Benny
it all gets
Sainties?
yes, exactly. Bennies. But it all gets us to the same place eventually. Just mine gets me there slower, and I never get as far. I think my audio is really quiet. For some reason, my microphone is quiet. Eleazar, you're probably gonna have to like increase my volume a bit. I don't know why I'm just quiet today. Sorry about that. Do something about it. I don't know, man, dog. What's up?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I basically said everything. I've been working on the secret project, stressing out about the Lord of Ghosts. I've been playing fucking tower defense balloons,
Oh God.
and that's been fun. I've been putting monkeys down, and they've been throwing darts.
Putting monkeys down, putting them down like dogs, taking them out behind the shed.
Duh. I went on that one adventure. We talked about Michael Owen.
Yeah,
And
that was
like on the adventure.
Remember all the memories. Remember when we talked
all those
about Michael Owen?
Remember those times where we came up with like the microwave as an alternative to the microwave.
Microwave?
And Michael Owen, yeah, the microwave. He waves his hand around food and it cooks it just like a microwave, but it's Michael Owen doing it. And that was one of the many jokes that we came up with as we were walking across Canterbury and the fields and the woodlands beyond. And I was like, yeah, what a story. Really not good for a podcast, that one. It's kind of stupid, actually.
yeah. For real. True. There
was this one farm that like had we were looking on the Google Maps and stuff, and there was like a public footpath that goes straight through this farm out into the woods. And this farm did everything in its power to imply that it is private land and you can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all like they didn't have legal authority to kick you off because the road, like the driveway road through their main gate, it had to stay open, but they had loads of signs in red with bold white letters saying private property.
But it was a public road, right? You're saying it was a public road that just happened to go through
a public property? Footpath, there's like sectioned off little places with signs, wooden signs with arrows saying, a yellow triangle saying this way is the continuation of the public path. It goes through forests. There's things like that all over Britain, and they sometimes go through farms, but farmers don't like it, but they can't really do anything about it, so they have to imply, if they don't want people walking near their buildings, they have to imply that it's so fucked up that you're here, and we're going to shout at you and shoot you but they can't do anything.
This is not a place of honor. No great deed is esteemed here. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I do not.
Oh,
there's a reference to something?
The like thing about like how would you denote a like a toxic, like radioactive place in a way that like would still be comprehensible like thousands of years later? I don't know. There's like hold on. If I Google This is not a place of honor. Okay, yeah, the Wikipedia long-time nuclear waste warning messages. Hold on. Here are some like things that like this is just sort of like a theoretical idea of like how would we communicate don't go here to like future generations. And it's like what would we want to evoke, and some of the phrases are like, this place is not a place of honor. No highly esteemed deed is commemorated here. Nothing valued is here. What is here was dangerous and repulsive to us. This message is a warning about danger. The danger is to the body, and it can kill. The form of the danger is an emanation of energy. And like, yeah, the idea was like maybe they were like maybe we cover the entire like surrounding like square kilometer with like, you know, giant spikes. We just like cover it in like giant like wooden spikes to just be like, this place will kill you. Don't come here. It's deadly. I don't know. So like they do that is what I'm saying.
The sign with all that language on it seems like, thousands of years later, surely the language would be changed.
I think the idea is that it would not literally say that in English. These are like ideas that they want to exude. Yeah, they want to not. Here's a 1993 report from the Sandia National Laboratories aimed to communicate a series of messages non-linguistically to any future visitors to a waste site. It gave the following wording as an example of what those messages should evoke. Right. Danger is unleashed only if within. Danger is unleashed only if you substantially disturb this place physically. This place is best shunned and left uninhabited. Oh, wait, no, this is good. This place is a message, and part of a system of messages. Pay attention to it. Sending this message was important to us. We considered ourselves to be a powerful culture. This place is not a place of honor, etc., etc.
I feel like no matter what you try, people will still curiously go there and die.
Yeah, probably sickness. Because like,
but I guess the sign would then they would be like, oh, sign says something, somebody died. Maybe it's dangerous.
I mean, there's always the chance that like no matter how strongly you try to convey like this place is dangerous, someone might get the idea like, oh, they want to keep me out. You know, they must be guarding something good, right? Like they must want to protect something valuable. This must be a place of lots of honor. There must be some extremely highly esteemed deeds commemorated here. There must be some very valuable things here. Otherwise, why would they tell me that there aren't? You know, what are they hiding, right?
Yeah, they're Scooby doing it. They got a spooky, scary guy saying, get out of here so that I can steal the money. I'm scaring you, and you're scared away.
You're right. That is one way to interpret Scooby-Doo as a verb, is to do something scary to make people leave you alone.
So you can reap the rewards.
So you can collect the insurance money or something, or
there's
protect
insurance money. There's
or...
buried gems, or like a deed to a house is going to expire, and ownership is always some sort of thing. Like, as long as people are scared and they're gone, then I'll have all this money. I got to scare people.
Truly, capitalism sure is fucked up that it incentivizes like putting on a goblin costume and running around and scaring people. The system's broken, man. Fuck, I was going to say... isn't there... Maybe it's not in England. Maybe it's in, like, Wales or something, but isn't there some policy of, like, anyone is allowed to walk anywhere? Or, like farm... like, anyone is allowed to walk on a farm, even if it's private property, like, as long as they don't, like, take anything? I feel like there's some countries that have laws that are specific. America's not one of them.
Yes, America's very get off my land.
Yes.
I think that might be Scotland. There's a right to roam in Scotland.
Yes.
I think Norway also. I'm not sure if England does. I'm not sure if Wales does either.
Okay, this is... I feel like... wasn't that guy who, like, walked in a straight line across... the island.
Yes.
Was it across Wales or Scotland or England? Or...
It was across Wales.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was thinking Wales, because I remembered that guy just walked, but he probably had to trespass at some point.
He did do another one where he attempted to cross Scotland in a straight line.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe that was why the farmers can only imply.
Yeah, well, I don't know. In England, it's a different thing. It's not, you don't have the right to go on people's land.
Yeah.
Necessarily, but there are built into the countryside, like hard and fast, like this needs to be accessible by foot. You need to be able to walk through these fields to get to a river or whatever. There's just like a network of public footpaths. You have to let people walk here. The public owns these little walkways and things, and they're signposted by councils or whatever. And farmers sometimes they go straight through their land, and nice farmers will make it very clear. They'll upkeep the sign saying this is the way you go, and people generally walk on the edge of a field to get to like a gate or a stile to go into the next one, and then it goes this way and that way. It's like a curated little series of paths, and I like it. It was one of those things where I never really thought about it until I realized that not every country does that.
Yeah, I mean, gotta have footpaths.
Usually, if there's a field, if there's a farm and there's a field, usually you're allowed to go through some of it.
I would hope so. It would be a bit shitty to let someone's private property impede, the public's ability to move about freely. In my opinion. You want to go to voicemails? I'm out of stuff.
What else happened? Oh, there's Kyle Rittenhouse, but I don't really know anything about that still.
Well, it was funny. I was listening back to last week's episode, and I heard myself talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and how everyone I follow on Twitter said he was going to get a full acquittal. And I was right. Or they were right.
Yeah.
He even got off on charges that seem unambiguously true, like illegal possession. Like he just did illegally possess the firearm. Like it's not even a question. But he just got off on the charge anyway.
Yeah, that seems weird. I feel like obviously they were pushing for guilty on nothing to get him off, but like
sure.
I feel like if you are in possession of a gun, or you're an owner of a gun, you're in charge of this gun, and this gun, while in your possession, you're
kind of responsible for what it does.
You're responsible for what happens to some extent. If it's a misfire or it's an accident, but 2 people end up dead or whatever, I feel like at the very least there should be like a fine and like a removal of gun rights for a certain period of time. Well, like as a very bare minimum, something like that. Well, the fact that nothing happens is a bit.
Well, there will be okay. I am genuinely shocked and befuddled that like none of the charges stuck. That I was pretty sure he would get off on the murder charges, but I thought there was no way he was dodging, illegal possession, illegal open carry, that kind of stuff. But he did somehow, which is very weird. But none of the criminal charges stuck. But like, there's still civil suits to be filed. Like the families of like the victims and other people are gonna be like they're gonna be in court for like damages and stuff, right? So like it's not nothing is gonna happen. Nothing criminal is gonna happen. He's gonna have to deal with this for a long time, which is good. But of course right-wing psychopaths will like pay all his bills for him and raise money for him to cover anything he gets sued for, so whatever. Anyway, right, so everything I was saying would probably happen with Kyle did last week, so funny shit. Love it.
Yeah, it's depressing.
That's pretty depressing.
I guess that's just the news. There's not really much else I can think of.
Funny
been happening.
Funny thing. Friend of the show, Spiral, the guy who was compiling the N-word counter for the PCP, who's going through every episode and keeping count for everyone. He asked me to help him with a school assignment. It was very funny. I guess he had to like interview people about times things went wrong. This is how he described the assignment to me. So he asked me if he could ask me some questions, and I was like, sure. So we did a voice call, and he asked me about like the falling out with Trixie. That was what he wanted me to talk about. So he asked me a bunch of stuff about that, and I just gave him some sound bites about it. I guess I just thought that was funny. It's something I'm always down to talk about as I continue to seethe and cope with rage at all times.
Yes.
About that. Yes.
Speaking of that, then did you know that the streak was broken last episode? A few people pointed it out.
Yeah,
but
I
read a voicemail.
I read a voicemail
where the title that had the N-word in it.
With the soft A though. But yes, I know.
It's still the N-word. I do have that in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's okay if it's the A, but like, why is there a discrepancy? Why is there a difference in the first place? It's really just to get away with it. There's no reason that's used.
I said it. I realized after I was like, oh, geez, I said it. Lol. I mean, I was reading the voicemail. I don't know. I've said it before. I don't know.
I'll just say it again.
I don't know. It had.
It's
not. It's
a dark day.
It's a dark day. It's sad. Let's face facts. It's not the first time it's happened on this show. Oh well. What can you do? What can you do?
What can you do but say you're welcome?
What can you do? What can you do but pledge to patreon.com/theprocrastinators for all our freedom of speech. We're all about free speech here. Fuck your feelings. Don't censor me. Don't tread on me. Okay, that's it.
Clipped.
Voicemail?
Yes.
Okay.
We're sorry. We're sorry about the N-word.
Sorry.
Please restart the streak and count from now.
Count to 0, yes. 0. It has been 0. It has been 0 episodes since the N-word was uttered. Okay, let's get these goddamn messages. Looks like the first one this week is called Digimon Ghost Game. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Digimon Ghost Game. 3, 2, 1, go.
In the slim chance that Tom is on this one, what are your thoughts on Digimon Ghost Game? If he's not on, then what are your thoughts on Digimon Ghost Game?
Never seen it. Gib?
Digimon Ghost Game. I hardly knew.
Is that a new one? I've never heard of it. Digimon Ghost Game. Ninth anime series in the Digimon franchise. Oh yeah, it's running right now. It's current. So I have no idea.
Is it like Squid Game but different?
Yes. Did you watch Squid Game?
No, I've seen some of the character designs, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I saw YMS's review of it. He thought it was pretty good.
I turned that off because I didn't want to be spoiled. Because it seems like one of those.
I didn't care about
one of those things
spoiled.
I probably would like to know about.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, fuck it. Okay, next one is called A Question. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey Ben, you talked about a book with a guy trying to write the perfect sentence. If you remember the name of the book, I can be free of one of my brain worms. Also, fuck Trixie.
Yes. Easy. Actually, I mentioned the book, I could be a real shitter and say that the book in question is one that I mentioned on the last episode. But I won't do that. I won't make you go back and listen to it. Yeah, the book is The Plague by Camus. It's not like a main plot point. It's just kind of a side bit in it's sort of a side story in that book. The guy who wants to write the perfect sentence, and what is he? The one he comes up with, like one it's like one fine. I mean, this doesn't translate perfectly because the original book was in French, I think. Like, one fine day in May, a lovely young woman riding a black sorrel mare strolled down the Bois de Bouillon, or something like that. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. It's The Plague by Camus. Next one is called Alaskan Weeb to Gib, Kino's Journey. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Gib. So for Kino's Journey, whether you want to finish it or not, if you're looking for some sort of big payoff at the end where it all comes together and goes full circle, you're not going to get that. Neither the original version of Kino's Journey nor the 2018, I want to say, version of Kino's Journey has some big payoff at the end. What you're getting in the first 3-4 episodes, that's what it keeps being. It's good. I recommend it. It's one of my favorites, but you're not going to get a massive payoff at the end. So bear that in mind if you're just deciding on whether to finish it or not.
Wait, they remade Kino's Journey in 2018?
I had no idea. When I googled it, I only found the 2003 or whatever whenever it was version.
I think Wikipedia says it started in 2000. Wait,
yeah, what? The first few episodes of Kino's Journey is it's a backdrop of some sort of melancholic, not really dystopia, but kind of dystopia-esque future. And this kid and her bike are driving around, and they're having deep conversations about philosophy and humanity, and if that's the entire show, I don't know whether I'd want to watch all of it, because I feel like it's the sort of thing that I would have found deep if I was younger, listening to them talk about it. I'm like, I've thought about this stuff before, that this is like teenager shit. It's not exactly lowbrow, but it's not.
Would you say
it's not that interesting?
Would you say it's I'm 14 and this is deep?
I would say it's approaching that.
That's a bit of a derogative way to put it.
Yeah, it's not that dumb smart, if you know what I mean. It's just sort of like, is this going to actually interest me as an adult, or is it the sort of thing that is good when you're younger and you haven't thought about what about the reason religion exists? I've thought of that. That's old news.
Yeah. Yes, I think I mentioned that I watched a few episodes of it. I must have seen the old version because there is a new version called Kino's Journey: The Beautiful World. I didn't know they remade it. I guess they did. Yeah, I watched some of the old one, but I never finished it, and I guess that's fine because I guess it doesn't really have an ending. So okay.
I'm gonna watch a few more episodes.
Did you ever watch
3 in?
Did you ever watch Haibane Renmei?
No, I've heard that name. What is it?
It's another. It reminds me of Kino's Journey, and it's in its tone. It's another one that I kind of think doesn't really have much of. I mean, it has a story and it has some lore. It's about these girls in a village, but the girls, they grow wings. They grow wings and halos, and it's just I don't even remember. They're just kind of living. They're just kind of living in this little commune village, and just hanging out. And they just go through this weird sometimes we grow wings and halos, but it's fine. And we just I think it might be some kind of some of us are actually dead, and we gotta deal with the the trauma of like our life. I genuinely don't remember whether the twist is like they were dead all along or not. I genuinely don't remember if that twist ever comes. I remember thinking it was probably coming. But it's like Kino, and then it's just kind of a sort of meandering, sort of calm, sort of like let's just kind of talk about life, man, sort of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a muted color palette.
That's a weed smoking show. That's
I
a
don't
calm
know if I
weed
would.
smoke.
Maybe a weed smoking show. Haibane Renmei is a bit somber for weed smoking.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but like Kino's Journey, I feel like is
perhaps
smoking weed and driving a motorbike.
What more could you ask for? Next voicemail is not a voicemail. It's just a question. Do you enjoy making PCP content?
Yeah,
I mean,
do.
the only real content we make now would be the podcast, and yeah, I enjoy recording the podcast. I enjoy it being a thing that I do.
Like Ben Saint, and I like talking to Ben Saint. It's like that's easy.
I like talking to you too, Gib. If I didn't, I probably wouldn't still be doing it. If you mean okay, in terms of, I guess the RadCon stuff is PCP content, which I have been, having get made for a while. I feel a certain sense of, I feel a sort of yeah, I think I do, even though you might think, oh my god, it's been like a year and a half, almost 2 years since this fucking RadCon thing happened, and I'm still working on it. It doesn't bother me. I just feel a sense of like anticipation of like, boy, I can't wait. I can't wait until it's done and everything's done and I can look back and I say, yeah, it took me 2 years, but I did it. We did it. Fuck everyone that said we weren't going to do it. I did everything. Like everything that had to be finished was, and I know that day is coming, and it makes me happy. So it's not, yeah, I guess I do enjoy it. I enjoy in sort of the sense of a job well done, not in terms of like, oh, this is fun, I'm having fun right now. Because I mean, most of that stuff is
like the fact that it isn't done, I am not enjoying.
Yes.
But like, yeah, same as getting it done is not like something I dislike. It's just a lot of work.
Hey, having it not done is a source of unenjoyment. And I would consider the removal of unenjoyment to be a form of enjoyment, which I will derive from the completion of RadCon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even just in general, like PCP content is largely fun and not really work, because if it was, then we would have tried harder to like push the algorithm and do things more. And all of us knew, like, at any point, we're just making things that we kind of were interested in. Damn the algorithm! Damn large success!
Yeah, there came a point. There came a point where I think we all kind of were just like, "There's not like the PCP is not meant to be like an algorithm appealing, you know, thing. This is not designed to catch fire and go viral, right?" Next, just do it out of love. We do it out of love. I do it for you, the viewer, because I love you. Mwah.
Yes.
The next voicemail is Janess. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ben Saint, you mentioned the Golden Girls a couple of times throughout the PCP, and it reminded me of this YouTube video called Golden Girls buys a Danganronpa class trial. I think it's the most that any Zoomers on the internet would have watched of the show. But I am curious how you came across the Golden Girls, because I don't imagine you as the type of person to ever watch a sitcom.
Golden Girls buys a not Haibane Renmei, a Danganronpa trial. That sounds really funny. I That's funny that you think I'm not a sitcom. I mean, I did watch sitcoms as a kid. I mean, The Simpsons is a sitcom. I watched so much of that. I watched Seinfeld. I watched
You watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
a little bit.
That was my main one, aside from The Simpsons, I guess.
I mean, when I was a kid, I watched, I would watch like Full House and Step by Step. Wait, is that a show? Step by Step, right?
I don't know.
Family Matters. I was an Urkel fan, I guess, for a while.
I remember one called My Wife and Kids.
I've never heard of that one.
It was more modern, but like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The hell? When was that? Step by Step is a sitcom.
But I did not watch Golden Girls as a kid. No, the answer to that question is that my ex-girlfriend was a big fan, and she got me to watch the entire series with her. And you know what? I don't even regret it, because I mostly enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good series. Had some memorable moments that I continue to bring up in conversation to this day. Mostly the one about Dorothy having the chronic fatigue disorder and not being able to find a doctor that would diagnose her. That one really stuck with me. I don't know. It's a pretty good show. I don't know if I would recommend watching the whole fucking series. I don't know if it's worth that. It's pretty enjoyable for what it is. Rose is best girl, of course. Blanche is worst girl, obviously.
Do they wear
my ex liked Blanche, so that's why I gotta pick worst girl. Fuck Blanche. Yeah, lol. Blanche is worse though. Blanche is very obnoxious. But I mean, they obviously that's on purpose, right? She's supposed to be kind of a snooty Southern belle, rich girl.
Oh, now I want to watch it.
Oh, really?
I love snooty rich girls in media. That's my favorite.
I don't know if you would like. You know what Golden Girls is about, right?
Old women.
Yes. Okay. As long as you realize that these are old women we're talking about.
Well, Vriska's gonna get old one day. She's gonna be in a home.
True. I mean, yeah. Honestly, give it a shot. Give it a shot. You might like Golden Girls. I did.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that it would be good, because I always thought of it as like, because they're old characters, the show must be very old and therefore bad.
It's
like
not.
It's before jokes were invented.
Believe it or not, the show, just the older the characters are, the older the show is. Just like
that's my head just goes to
100 years ago, everybody who acted on TV was like ancient, was like 100 years old.
It was like a prestigious position. You had to work your way up before you could act. To be minimum of 80.
You would probably like Rose, but for me, Rose is best girl, and I feel like that's pretty. Commenters, let me know in the comments if Rose is best girl, or if who's best girl, right? Rose is like the funny one. Rose is like the Pinkie Pie.
What about fucking Garnet? What about fucking Pearl?
No, the worst Golden Girl. Wait, Gold's not even a jewel. Gold's not even a gem.
New show, but the girls are made of minerals.
Golden Girl. She's made of molten metal.
There's Fool's Golden Girl.
That's Blanche for sure. Yes, so that's the story of why I watched Golden Girls. Next one is called Keyblade Spirit, She, Her. 3, 2, 1, go.
Holy fucking shit. Oh my fucking god.
Get to the point.
I'm a fucking girl. Anyway, I'm establishing the consortium of gib huggers to combat the Nate fuckers. I hope you will join. Bye.
Did we... I feel like we didn't comment... Yeah, it was this week that Nate released a video tempting many off the path of righteousness and causing them to fail No Nate November.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I hadn't gotten around to it, and then people mentioned that, and I was like, oh, that's true. I've got to hold true to my roots, to my cause.
The Deltarune video, I would describe the Deltarune video as the 9/11 of No Nate November. It was just catastrophic. I did not watch the video because I do not want Deltarune spoilers, because I'm still going to play part 2 at some point. Haven't gotten around to it,
what
but
will
I
happen
definitely
first?
will.
Phantom's Revenge or Deltarune?
Genuinely, I might finish Phantom's Revenge first, because why would I play another video game when I should be making one?
True.
That might actually be what happens.
I guess I approve of the consortium of gib huggers.
Gib huggers is pretty good. It's pretty good. Which is better? Is a consortium better than a league?
Well, I wonder what the etymology of those are. Consortium is like everyone's consorting together.
Yeah, I feel like a consortium is just like a bunch of people that talk to each other.
A military thing, or like a measurement of distance.
League
was
really
also
feels
used as a military thing.
League really feels like it's a group of people that have gotten together to do something. Consortium feels like it's a bunch of people that have gotten together to talk about something. So maybe the hugging of Gib is going to remain mostly theoretical. They're just going to talk about it.
Cohort of gib huggers.
Think about what if they did.
Battalion.
The battalion, the Legion. I like Legion. It kind of sounds like League, but more violent.
Yes, like Rome.
Like Rome. Next voicemail is not a voicemail. It is an image. So here it is. Let's see what we got. Okay.
What is?
So we've got a whole. All right. So Ben Saint in the middle here. Can I just had a little phone sesh with my dad about the rise of American fascism. I feel better. Maybe it'll be okay. Oh, I see. Wehrmacht performing Nazi salute. I don't know why I'm connected to that, but okay.
Because it's a dab, the so-called dab.
Oh, the so-called dab. Oh. Okay, that string should go from me to the dab to the Wehrmacht salute. Okay, that's fucked up. Slime Corp, Israeli flag, Jewies. Oh, not Jew. Oh, okay. This is a Nuzlocke conquest. Oh, the hat looks like a Nazi hat. Oh, destroy Israel. Oh no! Damn. You
got gut.
This makes me rethink everything.
It's all true.
I like it's all, I guess I mean it's all right here in black and white. I like that he used the pic. Maybe that's the best picture of me dabbing, is me at the RFCK lecture. It's a pretty good picture of me dabbing. That's really great. I love that I'm in like the dark hood. I love this. I approve of this 100%. And you know what? I just said the N-word too, so it all comes together. Lamau.
Oh God, Ben.
It's bad.
I'm gonna have to put you down.
I'm backsliding. Next image is another image. Here we go. Ah, jeez, Rick. It's true.
It's Ben Saint going, what was I talking about?
I say it all the time.
As seen on the hit podcast, The Pro Crastinators.
Was it before we started recording today that I mentioned to you that I was listening back to last episode and I was a bit disgusted with how much I go and pause and
that was before the episode started, but yes.
I was noticing it really bad last episode. I've been trying to not do it as much and repeating myself. Starting a sentence with and then a pause and then start the sentence. Oh, so I realized Okay, so I realized that all right, so I think I realized, and repeat the start 2 or 3 times while I like think of what I'm actually going to say in the sentence. It's a bit of a cheat that I use as a crutch, I think, sometimes.
Yes,
Anyway,
I
it's
usually
true.
just stay quiet. Actually, no, that's not true. I also do a bit of like,
Yeah.
Well, what I do is I'm doing it right now, so I
Mhm.
don't exactly know where I'm going, but I leave long-ish pauses for me to find the words that I need to use.
Yes.
It was weird thinking about that as I was saying it, and I'm doing it.
Okay. Next voicemail is called "Paying People to Unsub Trixie." 3, 2, 1, go.
Ben, how dare you affect Trixie's livelihood? Like, affecting someone economically is just going too far.
Absolutely.
You're just like the Union during the Civil War. Don't you know plantation owners needed slaves? And then
yes.
the Union economically affected them? That's you. You're
That is
radical
me.
abolitionist, Ben Saint. Not a good look.
We've got to abolish Trixie's Patreon. Yes, I would liken Trixie to an antebellum slave-owning cotton plantation owner. Yes, I would agree with that comparison.
I wouldn't because there's no way she would be able to organize such a thing.
Hey-oh, she couldn't afford it, haha, because she's poor.
Oh, also that.
Woo, yeah. Also, she doesn't want to be white. So she doesn't like being white. She wishes she could become a transracial individual. She wishes society was ready for that. So that's a little different too. So it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but you know, it's a metaphor. Was it this week that Trixie made that Substack post about being a bitch online? Was that this week?
I don't remember.
Hold on, I gotta check Twitter.
It was something about Trixie, I'm going to be positive. It was like something of a.
Oh no, it was like, this week. It was the 15th. Yes.
Oh yeah, it was something of a walking back of how she treated me. After she saw someone else.
It wasn't really though. Right?
Well, yeah, I was getting to that. It was an attempt was made, but like it really wasn't like I'm going to make amends, I'm going to not be a bad person. It's, oh no, being a bad person is bad for me economically. So I will just not do that anymore. It's not about caring that she hurt people or myself or whatever. It's just that the repercussions were bad, and that sucks for her.
She's literally in so many words, she's just saying, I got owned. I should probably not do that or I'll get owned again. In this article really annoys me because what it says, this is okay, she started to adopt this whole like positivity thing. She's like, no, I'm different now. I'm like, I've left all the hate. Like, I've left all the hate out of my heart. Now I'm only positive. I only like things. Right. And in this article she says, I'm done with being a bitch. I'm not going to be mean anymore. Being mean is bad. Being nice is good. Right. And this is not as an apology, but sort of as a response to the Who Are These Podcasts appearance and to that. And it rings completely hollow for many reasons. But the thing that galls me the most about it is that, it's adopting this stance of like, I'm no longer going to be mean. I'm being nice now. I'm above petty arguments and spite and drama and bile, right? But this comes as a response to her doing something aggressive and getting owned for it, getting backlash. It totally fell on its face and failed. This is literally just, she's posturing now like she isn't going to attack anyone. But like she did. She attacked us. She came after us. She tried to hurt us. with the Who Are These podcasts. She wanted us to get made fun of, us to get a backlash, people to say, hey, these guys suck, I hate them. It failed. But that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to hurt us. And it's only because the attempt failed that now she'll walk it back and be like, I'm not about attacking anyone. No, I'm actually not like that at all. I don't do that kind of thing. I'm only nice, right? It's the way she would defend after her attack fails, it's so easy to be like, attacking's lame. Actually, you know what? Being the aggressor, that's cringe. Actually, I'm not. I'm just gonna let things roll.
Yeah, the way it reads
after you try and you fail because you're too weak and nobody cares what you think.
The way it reads is definitely like not from the perspective of someone like, say for example it worked and she didn't get backlash for it.
Yeah,
I don't think she would come to the same conclusion because the way it reads is like it's like bad for me to be a bitch online because it comes back to bite me. It's not that she
literally says,
I feel bad about what I did.
She says,
just, I guess I shouldn't do it again.
She says, I don't think the results of operating that way have been positive for me. I.e., I got owned. I got corn-cobbed.
Yeah, I mean, it's. We'll see. We'll see whether she actually stays with that.
I know that it's just completely hollow. And if she ever feels like if she ever senses an opportunity to attack us and hurt us, she'll do it. Of course, this is all total empty posturing, just hot air.
Yeah.
Right. But she can't. But she can't because she's weak. She's weak and she can't do anything about us. She wishes she could, but she can't. So this is the next best thing, to pretend that she doesn't want to anymore. Oh well, that's life, I guess. Next voicemail is called What? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, guys. Who, what, when, where, why of RadCon? What's going to happen at the next RadCon? What are you going to do?
Everybody asks this.
There's not much more to what you going to do.
I don't know.
What things will happen?
Shut up. No, I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. We haven't thought about it.
We're gonna play Pikmin 2. Like, any given thing could happen.
When you come to visit in January, will that be RadCon 4.5?
I don't want to record anything. I just want to hang out. So
we didn't record anything at 3.5 either. Or no, we sort of did. Well, a little bit.
We sort of did. There was Noogle.
Do you
remember that? But like that was a meeting the
point of that was not
around organizing PCPHQ or something. I don't fucking remember. I know it wasn't like a big.
Not even PCPHQ. It was just about like whether Nate should move to Virginia.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, everyone's meeting. I'll fly over.
Yeah,
because it was fun. Because I liked my friends.
It was fun. Me and Munchie were talking about this a little while ago, and like RadCon 3.5 was like the stupidest and like most pointless thing of all time. And like practically speaking, like there was absolutely no reason for you to come and be there for it, but like we're still glad you did because it ended up being fun, in spite of the fact that like the reason for it was so asinine. There was no need for Nate to get together with Trixie and like hang out in her house just to talk about this.
Was it literally like they couldn't organize getting into a call together on Discord?
I mean, you would think they could just do a call together. You would think that would be
I think that was it. I think it was that they were always on a different sleeping time, or like Trixie was hard to get in touch with for a call, and Nate was like, I guess I can't. I guess I'm just gonna have to go there physically and talk to them.
Is it just that Trixie was like so unreliable that Nate was like, fuck it, I'll just go there in person?
I vaguely remember that being much of the reason, yes.
That seems impossible. Even for Trixie, that seems unbelievable. I mean, I know she was always very hard to get a hold of. But wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I think, well, obviously there was like, they were going to look at places, Nate and Michelle.
Yeah. But they didn't.
So there was a reason to go there, but they didn't. What was it? Whatever.
I don't think they did. But no, because they weren't talking about moving to Boston, because that was in Boston or Braintree. Close enough. So they couldn't have been going house hunting for Virginia houses. Yeah, so it was all theoretical. They got together in person to talk about should we move somewhere else. So it couldn't have been about like scouting out the location. Yeah, they literally could have just had a fucking voice call about it and gotten like the exact same amount figured out. I think we all decided this. Nevertheless, it was fun to hang out, and you know, all the other stuff was cool, and it ended up being a good time. But like,
yeah,
the reasoning behind it was so goofy. Yeah.
That's where I got my I Am Games shirt that I still have.
I lost mine. I don't know where my I Am Games shirt is.
You're not games anymore.
I'm not games. I'm not games. When you make a game, do you stop being games? I would think you become even more games. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Well, at least you'll be able to get a Saberspark 64 t-shirt.
God, I hope so. God, can I just say I fucking hate listening to Saberspark? He sounds so annoying. He's so obnoxious. His voice sucks.
I have not listened to much of him, so I don't even really know what people mean when they say...
He doesn't sound like a human being. He doesn't inflect like a normal person.
Does he have like a YouTuber voice, but like extreme?
Yes, he has this bizarre like, it's like he's trying to do like a radio announcer, but like he doesn't know how, and it just comes off like the most stilted and like artificial thing. I've met him in person, and he sounds normal. It's kind of the same as with I Love Kim Possible a lot. I Love Kim Possible a lot legitimately sounds like she has a speech impediment in her in her videos. And she talks really fast, and she yells a lot, and she takes forever to say nothing. And she sounds like she's got a speech impediment. In person, she doesn't. In person, she sounds like normal. And I don't know why. Why do they do this?
I noticed the thing about myself when I would record like voiceovers for Hypocrite or whatever. Talking off the cuff in a podcast or with a person is very different from reading and speaking. So I would put on a voice unintentionally because I'm trying to like, I don't know. I'm not even really know why I'm changing my voice, but it just happens. And I feel like unless you notice that, you just do it forever.
Yeah. Maybe you know, you might maybe I'm throwing stones. Maybe I'm in a glass house here throwing stones because like maybe if I read more scripted content I would sound weird as well.
I mean, did you script your Winnie the Pooh videos?
No.
Okay, so it wouldn't feel different.
I hardly ever script anything. I didn't script with the Winnie the Pooh videos and with T-Bap too. I would just go in with notes and I would just go in with like points to hit.
T-Bap's a convo, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to have, it's impossible to have a full script for a conversation between two people.
True, but sometimes there would be bits that we would think of that we would want to deliver, and we would make a note of like, okay, at this point, you know, make this joke, right? But they wouldn't be like written out and scripted. They would be just like a little note that I would take a cue from. That's right. So maybe don't have any actual basis to criticize. Maybe I would be just as bad. I don't know.
Maybe if you did that audiobook, you'd find
God fucking like. Lilia! I fucking hate him. Just fucking let me make you some free money, you idiot! You fucking moron! Die!
Lol.
He stole it from me. I was gonna be the guy, but he just doesn't care. Next voicemail is called NNN Week 3. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, no-naters. We're going 3 weeks strong now. We only got a bit left to go. I'm on the road this week, so this will be a short voicemail. As always, no Nate, yes watch.
Well, I hope we all remembered. I hope we all kept our cool and kept our self-control in light of the new Deltarune video. If you failed no Nate November, well, there's always next year. Yeah, okay. And if you didn't, stay strong. Next one is a paste bin link.
Yes, it's text.
Okay. Do you think mainland China is or will become the most powerful nation on Earth? If so, what are the consequences? If you don't consider yourself sufficiently informed on the matter, just ignore this. Well, good news. I do not consider myself sufficiently informed on the matter, so...
I'm not sufficiently informed on the matter, but I have watched a few videos by this guy who used to live in China.
Okay.
And he has opinions about how China loves to emit the air of them being a growing superpower that's going to become the most powerful nation in the world.
Yes.
And in reality, it's kind of a front. They're not really doing as well as they'd like people to think they are.
They're not as powerful as they pretend to be. Okay.
Yeah, because they used to be more lifting everyone up, but now they're more. He had to leave China. He was having a really good life in China. I can't remember the name of this YouTuber. He was having a real good life in China, working and living and all that. And he had loads of friends, and he spoke Chinese fluently, and he was there for years. And then slowly, something in government changed, and it was just sort of becoming worse and worse for a lot of people. And at the same time, they were becoming more. There was more nationalistic pride, and Americans are the reason for all your problems. So it's muddy and not what you would expect given vague notions of China being a looming threat that's going to take over the world from American or other Western media.
I saw a tweet this week someone was making fun of, and then they posted 4 screenshots of headlines that all claimed to be claiming that China's momentum is slowing down. China is stalling out. China is not as powerful. It's not going to keep growing and growing forever like they claim. But I guess the idea was that people have been saying that for a long time. People have been saying that for years, and they keep having to say it. It's no. It's kept growing, but now it's stalling. Now it's stalling.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether this one YouTuber has all the information.
Yeah.
I just know that he did live there, and he's for years. And I guess he has more of an understanding than I do. So
yeah,
whatever.
I just don't know. I have no insight into this whatsoever.
I believe that I can take over China single-handedly. All I need is a butter knife and 15 minutes,
Wait.
Easy.
I gotta check. Bitcoin.
No, you don't.
This makes me want to check Bitcoin.
No, you don't. No, it doesn't.
Bitcoin dropped a bit this past week. It may be rebounding.
But you, hopefully, Ben, are not going to rebound and buy into it.
Listen, I have said that if I thought Bitcoin was going to the moon, I would buy it.
Yeah.
It's only a question of do I think that is going to happen, and I genuinely don't know. It could. It's at a position where I think it could make another big leap. But it could also crash.
I think it's more likely that it will continue to grow slowly for a very long time and crash in the future.
At some point, I think
I don't think it's going to zoom up, but why do I think I know anything?
Yeah. I mean, true. Well, okay, never mind about that. Next voicemail is Mayday Deschain. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, first time voicemail, a long time listener. What up? My name's Mayday Deschain. Fellow trans woman. What's up, Gib? Love you. Big inspiration. Anyway, I'm actually just here to talk shit about Trixie. A trans sister that I don't respect.
Okay.
Yeah, that fucking appearance on one of these podcasts is oh dear, oh my. As a fellow trans woman who, finds it really difficult to do a femme voice because I'm afraid of coming across like this is what a man thinks a woman sounds like. So I just don't. Yeah, it's a big ouch. Like, okay, fine. Also, while I'm at it, their scripts have never been good, and I don't understand why people are going on about how like, oh, they've really fallen, they've really dipped, they've really dropped. Their scripts
You mean
have
who are these
always
podcasts?
been incredibly lazy and rushed, and
whose
felt
scripts?
like they've needed at least 2
Trixie's?
more drafts.
About
just
anime
like
videos?
people really underestimate how much Devu really did to make those videos watchable back in the day. Because now that she's all doing it on her own, it's really painful. It's real. I don't know if either of you have bothered watching any of the Anime Alphabet videos, but yeah, the scripts need a lot of polishing.
I have not watched like an entire video. I've seen little bits and pieces here and there, and my impression is that they lean pretty heavily on just kind of recapping the events of the anime, which is whatever. And I've heard that Devu. I've heard a lot of people say that like Devu was the reason the videos were good back in the day. But I don't know. I haven't watched the new ones, so I don't really have any strong opinion on what they're like myself. I don't know, Gabe, you got anything to add?
I watched the first up to the Digimon one, I think. And the first one was bad. It was just a recap of the show. The other ones were sort of had more to about like the external like nature of the show and when it came out and stuff. I feel like talking about the idea that Trixie's scripts for anime videos were always bad, it may be true in the sense that the only reason I believed a lot of what she said was because I didn't know anything about anime, and I just assumed the things she was positing or throwing out there were like informed and smart and whatever. But I don't know whether I can make that judgment exactly because I haven't done my own anime research and then gone back and listened to those videos to figure out whether or not they were smart or like surface level.
On the subject of like anime knowledge, I don't have any room to criticize it because like I don't know that much about it, and so I can't say like, oh, she did or did not know what she was talking about. In terms of like other aspects that she might have talked about in her, not so much in her anime videos, but in like her other stuff, like in her After Dark stuff, in like her vlog content and stuff, I know that I definitely feel at this point that like there may have been a time that I might have respected her opinion about stuff, but I have come to understand that I just don't think she is smart or knows what she's talking about or like has much of value to say, and it has retroactively made me think that like lots of things that maybe I would have just accepted as an opinion before, now I have to shake my head and be like, well, that's just fucking dumb.
I don't know.
No, that's not true for everything, but for some things, I feel. Because I don't know. Anything that I didn't know about myself, anything that I did not have a personal opinion on that she said, I would have generally just taken her word for it. But now I have to question everything. And often the questioning does not lead me to a positive conclusion about the content.
I guess the thing that also I'm not sure about is that people who do know about this, the things she talked about, I haven't seen people saying in comments anywhere that much when they were happening that Trixie didn't know what she was talking about. So I feel like she had a basic grasp enough to make a video on these subjects, and that was like at minimum acceptable. I feel like now that Trixie has gone off the rails, it's easy to look back and say, "Oh, they were always bad," but I didn't think it at the time. I don't know if that's true.
You know, I think it's I think it's a combination. I think there are some things that I now would think more negatively of, just because I know more about the person who's having them, who's saying them. I think it's, but I think it's also that like she has just gotten worse. Like, I don't think she could make Asterisk War Sucks now. Asterisk War Sucks was an interesting analysis, and it touched on, it was pretty like, honest about like feelings and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it was a good little series. And now she's a different person now. And like now she's on this whole thing about like, I don't know. She's like gone into this like contrarian positivity thing, and she's all just like, I like things now. Digibro was bad because he didn't like things. But that was actually just a character I was playing. That wasn't really me. That was just a character. Trixie is good. Trixie likes things. Trixie is nice. Trixie's positive. And I just feel like it doesn't come from an emotionally honest place, and I feel like it would not... I don't feel like she could write something that I would be like, you make an excellent point. That speaks to something that I feel is relatable anymore.
I suppose a lot of the content of the videos that she made was not merely, this anime is good. It's like using the anime as a framing device for talking about the internet or herself.
Yeah.
Or like various things that people can relate to on an emotional level. And that's people like that.
That's okay.
I feel like if she tried to do the same stuff now, she would not relate to anyone because she is so different.
She's such like a closed, like she's so cagey. She doesn't tell anyone what she's up to. She doesn't like nobody. I know where she lives because I'm smart and I figured it out and it wasn't even that hard. But like nobody knows where she lives because she's like a secretive about it. Like she doesn't she doesn't want people to know about her anymore. And it comes through in her scripts. What you just said about like how the videos are really, they're sort of about the anime, but they're really about like, they're about the host. I've been thinking about that. Tim Rogers has made me think about that lately. Like those videos are not like he does talk about the game, but like the point of those videos, I really think is just for him to talk about himself, which is like fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But it's true of I think it's just true of YouTube. I saw a video that was a criticism of, it was a specific philosophy tube video where like someone who worked for like a university who was like an actual philosophy professor wrote like an essay about like, learning philosophy from philosophy tube is kind of like not a great way to do it, because the philosophy tube videos are only sort of about philosophy. Like the point of those videos is not principally to exposit ideas, but to profile the host, right? The point of the videos is to feature the personality that makes them. And I think that's true of I think that's just true of like everything. I think that's like the point of YouTube. The point of YouTube is to provide a platform for people to nominally talk about stuff you might be interested in, video games you like, movies you like, whatever. But the point is for them to sell themselves to you as someone that you like and that you want to give money to. And I don't know, I'm not even talking about Trixie anymore, although it's true of her as well. It's true of everyone. I don't think that's probably bad. That's probably a bad thing.
But, I mean, maybe. My brain immediately goes to someone like Tom Scott, who is obviously very well recognized because of his videos being very popular, and he's got his signature look and the way he talks, and it's like, it's Tom Scott. I like Tom Scott. I see Tom Scott and I click.
Sure.
But the content, I don't know whether I could describe it about being about Tom Scott, other than the fact that it's things that he thought would be interesting to put into a video. And in that sense, I don't know whether there's anything wrong with that.
I don't know.
I guess there's certain aspects of parasocial like there's a gradient, I guess.
Here's
where
what
it could be more about the host than it is about the stuff that is being talked about.
What if I phrased it like this? What if I said that the business model, regardless of the actual like content of the videos or how educational they are, the business model of YouTube is not explaining things, educating people. The business model of YouTube is to make people like you, invest people in you, sell them on you as someone they want to give money to. By whatever means necessary.
I think that's only due to the fact that most YouTube channels are run by an individual and not a company. Because if it were all companies, it would be the same thing, but like to get people invested in the brand or whatever.
Well, yeah, okay. I get okay. Yeah, I guess. I guess in a way that's kind of the point of any brand, and some brands are just a person. So I guess maybe I'm not really describing anything new, huh?
Yeah, in fact, you might be an idiot, Ben, saying.
Perhaps. Let me just check Bitcoin again real quick.
No!
Oh, it crept up a little bit. It's creeping back up toward... It dipped below 60K, but it's creeping a little bit back up towards it. I hope that it doesn't, like, pass 60K and then shoot up again, because it's like, oh, we've beaten the resistance point. We're past the resistance point. Whatever. Fuck it. What were we talking about? YouTube? Whatever. Man. Yeah, Trixie sucks. That's all I have to say.
One last thing about that voice mail is femme voice is tough.
Yeah.
And I totally get the aversion to, I guess flippantly or like without practice put on a voice that people can hear and make judgments. I'd rather perfect it in secret and then suddenly start using it. I don't know if that's possible. I feel like your voice would gradually change. But it's
probably,
I don't want to without having undergone like rigorous training just start doing a voice off the top of my head, because it's gonna sound very bad. Just like it would be with any sort of accent thing you're trying.
Probably, yeah. Okay. One more voicemail. This one is this is like they used another website that's fast upload. Okay, you got it open. It's called Ben's Crast and Cast, formerly Nate's. You got it?
Wait. That's the joke. Ben's Crast
Sneed's Feed and
Seed, formerly Chuck's.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because Sneed's Feed, and Seed
all end with Eid.
Yeah.
So your brain automatically goes Chuck's, suck and fuck.
So if this is so if it's Ben's Crast and Cast, formerly Nate's, then it would have been Nate's, Crate, and Kate. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this is nonsense.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, have you been following the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff?
The details are iffy.
In my corner of the internet, obviously everyone thinks he's guilty. If he gets an acquittal, the message is white people. Yeah.
Like, why bring such a large gun?
Yeah. What? I thought
the message is.
The message is white people? I thought it was going somewhere else. I'm not sure exactly what the message of that was supposed to be. I thought it was going to end on, like, what did I say? I said, like, white people go out and kill protesters. I thought it was going to end on a dramatic beat of, like, me, the music stops and I say, white people go out and kill protesters. But it didn't. So I guess it subverted my expectations.
What a strange voicemail.
That was a strange voicemail. Oh, we got another one. A new one 17 minutes ago. It's called Rod Serling, The Crypto Zone. Yes, please. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Imagine, if you will, a world in which the only rational option would be to invest in Bitcoin. Impossible? Why, it is not so in the mind of Ben Saint, internet comic artist and game developer extraordinaire. What if you knew for a fact that your money would double after you invested? Forget that in this scenario, the whole point of the speculation market that Bitcoin relies on would be deflated, because it relies on some people losing out for others to make gains, which is made impossible when the stock rise and fall is made predictable to everyone. Or imagine that Bitcoin became the only currency and that you would become a literal vagrant in a Mad Max wasteland if you did not invest. These are the scenarios we wrestle with in the crypto zone, where Ben Saint goes when he must once again justify why he still feels the subtle temptation to invest in Bitcoin, while at the same time admitting that they are a scam pyramid scheme with necessary victims, not the least of which is the environment. Gotta get that bag, I guess. Buy Road to Radcon so that Ben Saint becomes secure enough in his finances that he no longer feels that survivalist instinct that tempts us all to slice the Achilles tendon of our fellow man, to steal his meat and his crypto wallet.
His meat. That is a completely. That is a very emotionally honest. That is exactly how it feels. I am living in the crypto zone all the time.
That's very eloquently put as well.
Very eloquently put. I'm gonna fucking voice grail that one.
Yeah, voice grail.
Rod Serling goes right to the voice grail. And sir, it's an honor to have you among our esteemed rank. You said it better than I ever could have. Yeah, I do. What more is there to say? You just hit the nail on the head.
That music should play every time you check Bitcoin.
Yeah, it should. It should. Can we get Eleazar to start editing in the Twilight Zone music whenever Bitcoin comes up? The crypto. Eleazar, I'll get you the music. I will get you the music. We're gonna make it happen. This is a new bit. Yeah. Congrats. Okay. Anything else? Are we done?
I suppose we are.
God. Another PCP gone
People
behind us.
People have been complaining that they're not 4 hours long.
Yeah, I saw a couple people were like, I got so used to 4 hour long podcasts, and this one's only 2 hours and 15 minutes? Oh!
I don't even know how we were able, just the two of us, to go on for 4 hours.
These days I don't, because
times.
nothing happens to me anymore. I just fucking sit in my room and I work on my gain and I lift weights. That's all I do.
We just gotta finish these projects.
Yeah,
and then we can
real.
talk about them.
Genuinely, yes, true. Genuinely the case. Well, but that day, not yet. That day is not today. So until that time comes... You want to wrap up?
Next PCP time, next PCP channel.
Next time in the crypto zone. Patreon.com/The Procrastinators. Bonus episodes, Trixie drama, other shit probably.
Fun fact challenge.
Bunch of gay wizards.
Ancient stuff from the before times.
Think of the Birdmen. There were Birdmen in there. I remember that.
Yes.
What else was there? I think there was some World War II shit. I don't know. And speakpipe.com/PCP voicemail. Send us a voicemail if you want to do that. And buy Road to Radcon, like Rod Serling says. Rod Serling says that you gotta buy Road to Rad. Send me a message on Discord or on Twitter. Buy it. And ask me how to buy it, and then do it. Okay. I guess that's it.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.